Hey there, astronauts! In this video I'm going to give you a short introduction into the Rocket Show Designer. The Rocket Show Designer is an open source software. It's completely free, where you can design your own lighting shows, controlling moving heads, fog jets, or anything else which supports control over DMX. There are two ways to access the designer. Either you use your Rocket Show device, start it up, connect to its Wi-Fi, navigate to rocketshow.local and open the designer, or you can go to rocketshow.net, like I did here, and click on designer here. Both designers are practically the same. You can import and export between those two designers, which means you can design your light show online, export the project, and import it later to your Rocket Show device for playback. You can right now go to rocketshow.net, open the designer, and try it out by yourself. There's no need for a registration or for an installation. Now, before we start, let's create a new project like this. Project new, okay, and this creates a completely empty project. At first, I then want to add a couple of new fixtures to my project. I can do this by go to the menu Settings, Fixture Pool, by clicking here, or by pressing the hotkey P. Then you can see a list of all available fixture profiles on the left side here. A fixture profile is like a template for fixtures we can add to our project. Rocket Show regularly updates all those profiles, but there might be cases where you are missing a profile for your specific fixture. If this is the case, I've linked a video in the description below where it's explained in detail how you can create your own fixture profile and use it in your project. For now, I want to add 3 new moving heads like this. And what you can see is the fixture pool added them automatically to the universe down here below. This is the DMX universe, and they are all added one after each other. You can move the fixtures around on the universe, modifying the DMX start address here on the first position. Overlapping, of course, does not work. But if it's the same fixture profile, you can set them on exactly the same address, and then they will be controlled the same way. You cannot control them individually anymore, but it works. Now I want to control them separately, therefore I leave them on each own address. You can also edit the settings of each of those fixtures. You can set a name, you can select the channel you want, the mode you want to use, and the DMX start address here. Make sure to use the same DMX start channel and the same mode here as selected in reality on the fixture. Usually there are some switches or something on the fixture where you can set those things. As soon as I click OK, you can see we have our 3 new fixtures here available to use. What we want to do first is arrange them on our stage here. It automatically just adds them on top here and arranges them with equal distances between, but I can always change it. I can go to settings there, select a specific fixture, and let's say, okay, this one is on the back top. We have it behind here. I can say this one is on the front bottom, for example, or I can even select the manual position down here, but we won't use this for now. We will just go with front top here. And what you can see here, you can also modify the stage properties, but we will also leave it like this for now. The order we have here also affects the order you can see here on the stage. In the Rocket Show Designer, you set specific fixtures to specific states using presets. For example, I want to set those two fixtures here to give us a red light. I selected both of those fixtures and I can say, okay, I want them to be red. And what you can see here already is we have a color where we can choose detailed colors from, but in the end, those moving heads here are using a color wheel, so they don't have all colors available. They just have a couple of colors to choose from. The designer automatically translates the color we're selecting here to the nearest available color on the wheel. Of course, we can also directly select a color on the wheel like this. This makes sure we have exactly this color selected. At the moment, there's nothing here to show, and the reason is our dimmer is still closed. You can open it here, set it to 100%, and then you can see those two moving heads are giving a red light right now. And all of this is done within this preset here. So let's call this preset red. This is just the preset which sets those two fixtures selected here to red color. We can also select this one, or we can remove them from the preset. Now I want to do a different preset. Let's say blue in the middle. And this preset only sets the color of the moving head in the middle to blue. Now we can switch between those two presets and we can use them now on our project. You can create as many presets as you want. It makes sense to group those effects together into smallest possible presets so you can use them all across your project. Now there's another level of settings in the Rocket Show Designer which is called Scene. You can group different presets, like the ones we just created, into different scenes. This means a scene contains a couple of presets. I can preview the scene by clicking on it, and now we can see this scene contains both of those two presets here. I can select or deselect them, and it combines them. I can switch between viewing the whole scene or just a single preset by clicking on it directly. Now, let's make an example. We have this preset here setting those two moving heads to red. Let's assume I would set all three fixtures to red. And this preset here only sets the middle one to blue. In the resulting scene, it still looks correct because higher ordered presets here override lower ordered ones. I can switch it to see how it looks like. Now the scene shows everything red because this one overrides all three fixtures with red. If I switch it back and change the view to the scene again, we can see this blue in the middle overrides the red also in the middle from down here. Same goes for scenes. Higher ordered scenes, which we will explain later in this video, are played back at the same time, override lower ordered scenes. And by the way, if you're working on a Rocket Show device, you can enable live preview in the lighting settings of Rocket Show, and then everything you see in the preview here in the designer will also go directly over a DMX device, if you've connected one, out to your fixtures, and you will see in reality how your changes here affect your fixtures. We already made first contact with capabilities. Capabilities basically are just easy settings the Rocket Show designer already extracts for you and shows you in a nice way. If a fixture has a dimmer, it will be shown here. You can select the color, and for moving heads, you can also manipulate the pan and the tilt settings. But usually fixtures have much more channels, and they are not visible here. They do all kinds of different stuff which are not supported directly here as capabilities. For those channels, we have another tab here, which is called Channels, of course, and you can see all the available channels and can manipulate the corresponding settings directly. For example, I can set gobo, wheel slot. I don't know what they exactly do. You have to refer to the manual of your fixture profile to see what it does exactly. I can select gobo rotation and so on. And all those channels are mixed together with the capabilities and go into the selected presets. Now we're taking a look at one of my favorite features of the Rocket Show Designer, effects. Effects are available in this tab here, and they are also going into the currently selected preset, same as capabilities and the channels we've seen before. You can simply add a new effect here. It's a curve effect with different curve types available, and for the curve we also have different parameters we can set. But first, let's decide where we want this curve to apply to. We can apply the curve to values of capabilities or channels. For now, I'm going to select tilt because this always looks nice. Zoom out a little bit, like this. You can see on the left-hand side how those parameters affect the curve, like the amplitude, just getting stronger, or the position. It's even hitting the boundaries here. Let's give it a little bit more amplitude. And this is really an interesting feature here, chase. If we add it, you can see those two small dots here follow the large dot. And the order is also coming from the right here from the fixtures. So let's check. The big dot here, this is the first fixture, then we have the second one following it, and a third one here. We can also apply this effect to multiple capabilities, which might result in a chaos. But you can create really nice effects combining different effect channels, capabilities, and so on. Sometimes it's going to get you really interesting effects. Coming to the last part of this video, let's assume you have created a few awesome scenes, and I'm pretty sure they're really awesome. Let's assume this scene is used for the chorus of our song. And now we want to play this scene in sync with the audio as soon as the chorus of our song kicks in. To achieve this, we need to create a new composition here. Calling it Alive. I'm adding the audio here. And what we want to do first is check the grid so that the snap to feature is working properly. The tempo is usually recognized automatically, but sometimes it fails. You just need to check whether this works here and enable this snap to grid so that our scenes will be really played in sync with the audio. Then we can check where our chorus is. We can zoom in a little bit here also. So it seems like our chorus is starting exactly here. And we want our scene to be played exactly at this point here. We can just Move away the selector here. We can just draw our scene here. And then as soon as we play, we're going to playback mode, where also the visualizer shows us what is played during playback. And yeah, let's check whether the scene kicks in at the right time. This looks good, and this is exactly how it works for all the other parts. If you want to play a scene somewhere on the audio, you just have to find out where it is, and if tempo and so on is set correct, it's quite simple. You can just draw the scene here. You can also add multiple scenes, as already mentioned before. Higher scenes override lower scenes, and same as with the presets. In order for the Rocket Show device to play back your lighting show together with your composition, you need to make sure that the composition name down here is exactly the same as your composition name in Rocket Show itself. As soon as you play a composition in Rocket Show, it will check whether there is a designer project attached to a composition with the same name and play together in sync with your backtracks, with your playback tracks, videos, and so on, which makes sure your lighting show is also in sync and everything plays nice together. In the online version of the designer, you are also able to share your shows with your friends, your band members, with your customers, whatever. So make sure to show them and let them improve, give you feedback. We are also excited if you share your shows with us. For example, here in the YouTube comment section, it's always nice to see new stuff. And that's already it for the video. I hope you had fun watching it, and I also hope you have fun creating your own lighting shows. Let us know in the comments if you have questions. See you soon. Bye bye.